We're live! Hey, look at that. All right. Good morning, Teklians. Good morning, afternoon, whatever. Good morning, evening, noon. This is episode 17. We're going to talk about tech updates. We've looked at some stuff that we found on the interwebs, and we're going to talk about it. You're going to listen, or you're going to ignore us, and they probably already left. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Chris. I have some KitKat invites to give away today. I believe you have, or KitKat codes, and you have Aviate invites.
That's right. We still have Aviate invites.
If you want that, you got to get in the live chat, though. I mean, don't comment on the post or anything. You got to get in the live chat for that. And my teacup of the week is actually, this is the cup I bring to work every day. It's ceramic like a regular cup, but it's a travel mug type thing too, so it's cool and I like it. But it has hot chocolate in it, so it's a hot chocolate mug right now. And that's the teacup of the week.
Hot chocolate cup of the week.
Yes, sir.
Our last episode, I didn't notice this, but I have my Hangouts privacy thing. I have it set so that certain people, it's invite only. That's only certain of my circles can message me. And it was like 4 or 5 days after our previous episode, we were trying to give away invites, that I went through, looked at those, and saw that 2 people actually requested them, and I missed it. So my personal Hangout is open to anybody. So if you want to message me directly, personally, my profile page is right there in the Hangout in the lower third. So go there and message me directly.
And yeah, other than that, participate in the live chat, because that's where I am. You can go to my page too, but
I am in the live chat via my phone because my computers are being they're being something. They're frustrating me. So I'm in the Hangout on my phone. So if you guys aren't in there, you're missing out. There's all kinds of nothings going on in there.
And we're it seems we're also answering questions live today. That's turned on.
Oh, it is?
Is that on by default now, maybe?
I may have accidentally hit it when I was... The Hangout thing got a new interface. Since we're talking about tech updates, let's just talk about the new interface. I have no opinion of it yet.
I may like it. It depends on how it works out. I definitely like the dark theme. I love the fact that it's a dark theme over that bright white one, because I use it at night a lot.
Yeah.
I definitely like when we go live, it has a little live light like up in the corner now. Just like lights up in the corner, says live, or before it was just off to the side, not really noticeable.
I need to get one of those for right outside my door that I could just turn on. Teklian Live.
The 2 things I don't really like about it are, one, for some odd reason, when I'm on my display, it shows it full screen, like it takes up everything. And when I'm on yours, it just shows it smaller. And you said yours is doing the opposite. For you, it's showing you full screen and showing me smaller. So that must be a new thing where it shows yourself as full screen. But I don't like that, and I don't like how the pictures are square now. Like when it shows everyone else in the Hangout, it's square rather than their full video.
Yeah, they're like a little thing at the bottom, and it's all square. It's harder to see.
It is harder to see. I don't know what's going on. Also, like, I usually have mine set to your video because mine doesn't switch back and forth automatically like yours does.
Mm.
So I usually have it set to your video so I can see what you're doing. But then I can't see what I'm doing. Like, if I want to reference something off screen, I have to actually manually switch to my video now. Like, if I wanted to reference to the pineapple.
Or the dog in the background.
Dog in the background. There's a dog in the background.
I for a moment, the dog just appeared a moment ago while you were talking, and for a moment I thought it was going after the pineapple. I was about to be, watch out, it's gonna get the pineapple.
I actually would have noticed that the dog was in the background had this been like the way it was before, and I could see my whole video. There's the dog. I see her. She's behind the couch.
Creeping up on the pineapple.
That's my pineapple, yo.
Yo.
Yo, that's right. 50-50 partners, yo. Science, bitch.
Magnets, bitch.
And there's some Breaking Bad for everybody.
There you go. That is our gift to you. You're welcome.
I gotta get back on that show.
It was an awesome show. I got my birthday cards, my Breaking Bad birthday card. It says, happy birthday, bitch.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then inside, my wife signed it, and then she wrote, yeah, bitch, birthday.
Birthday, bitch. Oh, on a note of other awesome stuff, Best Buy Messenger is available for Android and iOS now.
Best Buy Messenger.
That's totally awesome, right? We use that all the time. We're done with Hangouts. I mean, now that that's there, wait a minute.
You're talking about BlackBerry Messenger?
Yeah, I'm...
You're plugging your work into this.
No, I just saw the BBM and BB Best Buy. I'm all mixed up. BlackBerry Messenger for Android and iOS.
Shop at Best Buy.
That just ruined my whole little... Everything I was going to say is just ruined now. Don't get it. I was going to pretend it was awesome and we use it, but we don't. But there's not even a desktop version available. That's what rules it out for me.
There's some things that you can do, like you can share, I think it's like you could share music or something like that, and then it says and more, but I was having a hard time like finding out the details, like how do you share music? Because I can share music in Hangouts, I can share you a link, so it's like that's not really saying much, but file sharing, that's what I was looking for. Can it do file sharing? Because that's one thing that I know you and I definitely want Hangouts to use to support file sharing. Then I just got kind of bored of looking it up, and I was like, who cares?
Yeah. Maybe one day Hangouts will support file sharing, but for right now, it does support some new things. If you're an Apple user, lucky you, it will support sending calls to other numbers for free as long as they're in the US or Canada. And if you have a Google Voice number, you can also receive calls through your Hangouts. So that's like free sending and receiving calls now, plus Hangout Messenger.
Does it support Google Voice?
It does. Which gets me to my next point is why doesn't Android?
Yeah, because I remember being pissed when I first heard about it, and then there was all this stuff about like why it's going to take a lot longer for something about like we aren't going to get that kind of support for phone calls until like sometime early next year, early 2014, and then Google Voice support sometime after that.
But why would it take so long for Android if they can already do it for Apple?
That's what I was wondering, because it's like it's like a carrier thing. They're talking about how they have to work with carriers, and that's what's complicated.
But they already did it for Apple, so they already did the work with the carriers, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's also bullshit that they have to work with the carriers, because they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to work with carriers to make their app do something just because the carriers worried they might lose business over it.
You know what I'm confused of, though? Google Voice is a Google thing. So what does that have to do with the carriers?
Exactly. Well, what it is the carriers are going through all that crap where they probably want to block it. They probably don't want to allow it. But there was that ruling a couple months ago where they were told you can no longer block apps just because you don't like what it offers. And they're probably all mad because, this is going to allow people to want to go more with a just data route if they can do text messaging and calling all through Hangouts rather than have to pay for it. But, we got SMS on Hangouts now, but not if you use a Google Voice number.
Yeah, so it was a very minor update for me, so.
Yeah, I use only Google Voice for texting and calling now, so if I can't text with my Google Voice number through Hangouts, there's no point. The update doesn't mean anything for me as far as that. It came with GIF support and location sharing, though.
But those are awesome. Those are the only things I see as updates, though, for me, though, right now.
I don't know how often I would ever use the location sharing, though. I guess if I got my wife and I new phones, I can see us using it like, oh, where are you? It's like, ding, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Other than that, like...
The thing with it, though, is it's not just like when you first click on the location sharing, it pops up and it's your location, but then you can drag it and move it somewhere else, which is very handy, like if you want to meet up with somebody. It's like, hey, meet me at this place. Where is it? I'll show you. And then you just kind of move it around and drop it on the location.
I can see that as being handy, too. It's just... And it's a great feature for other people, but not for me, because for me, I talk to you and I talk to my wife. I'm obviously not going to tell you to meet me up somewhere when you're other side of the country.
It's going to take me a while.
Yeah.
Give it a few days.
Yeah, but it's still a cool feature, and I hope to get to use it more.
The GIF support, I'm really excited about the GIF support.
Yeah, the GIF support's cool. That was rolled out to desktop a couple months ago, right? Now it's on apps for the app, too.
Yeah. My wife shared a GIF or something to me and I was on my computer and I noticed it was suddenly animating.
It's like, yeah.
I was like, wait, it's moving. Because anybody who talks to me a lot notices that I often respond with GIFs.
I love GIFs. They're the perfect response.
Picture's worth 1,000 words, but a GIF is worth at least 500 pictures.
And big news this week. Do you want to tell them? I'm sure they already know. Everyone already knows.
The Nexus 5 finally launched. I was really looking forward to it, and I was excited to see like an event and an unveiling, and this is all this new stuff it has. But it was just, it's live, buy it. Yeah, they're basically like, oh, here it is, and then it sold out. The 16 gigabyte version sold out in like 30 minutes or something crazy. By the time I found out it was out, which was only like 45 minutes later, I went to pull it up because I was at work, and I work at Best Buy, so I just opened up on one of the computers that for demos. I went to the website, and 16 gigabyte model was already sold out. But they didn't do anything for it. It's just like, here it is. They didn't tell us anything about 4.4. I still have no information really on 4.4. What's new about it? What's special about it? Why it warranted a new name but not a whole number change, a whole number step up. Well, there's a lot of things under the hood change, like a lot of optimizations and
Well, I know they're trying to make it work on lower RAM phones because right now one of the problems with Android is, you have to get the newer phones to support the newer operating systems, and all these old phones can't even update to the newer ones because they can't handle it, and they want to change that. They want to make it a little bit more lightweight so that the older phones can still handle it. So that's cool.
The problem with that, though, is they're trying to make it so that older phones can run it because it's now only going to require I believe like half a gig of RAM.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't they start updating like the Nexus S, the Galaxy Nexus?
Yeah, that's right. The Galaxy Nexus isn't getting 4.4. They're sticking strong to the Nexuses will only get 18 months of support, which I know we do a lot of Apple bashing on here, but Apple supports their phones for like 3 years.
Yeah.
They get updates for 3 years. And Nexus is really, Google's really sticking hard to this 18 months only thing, and they're not going to release 4.4, they said, to the Galaxy Nexus.
Which is stupid to me. This is the perfect opportunity to show how much optimization you've actually done. To be like, hey, all of a sudden, your phone can now run this new operating system.
Because the Galaxy Nexus could definitely handle it. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great phone.
I saw somebody put it, I think you posted it, someone put it on a Nexus 1, but it's not really functional.
Yeah, someone put it on a Nexus 1. It wasn't that functional, but they had it on it. I don't know. I wish they would support phones longer because, it really, when someone gets a phone and they know it's going to be supported for a long amount of time, they're more likely to be happy with that phone. I know either way, I want to save up to get a Nexus, but I'd be a lot happier knowing I'd be able to use that phone for 3 years and 18 months, and I'd have to switch to a ROM.
There's a party over there again.
But yeah, we went off of our routine, but I wanted to mention those things.
No, but the other thing with that is that, like with Google not supporting their older phones, like it would benefit them because they're not making money on hardware like Apple, and like Apple needs to sell the hardware because that's what their big money maker is. That's why that's
why they sell their phone for like $700.
Yeah,
$600.
So they need to make money off the hardware, and they need to make money off that whole package. But Google makes money off the end services. That's why they're perfectly fine with people running their services on iOS, because to them it's like, well, whatever, you're still using Google stuff, and that's cool. So it doesn't make sense. Like if it was Apple, where they have to make money off the hardware, it would make sense to support the hardware for a shorter period of time so that people need to buy newer things more frequently. But with Google, they're not making money off the hardware. They want you running the software. People are going to be more inclined to stick with using your software if you update the software on their older hardware. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But I guess there's always ROMs for that. So
that's how I got ice cream sandwich and then eventually gingerbread running on my old original Evo.
Yeah.
There's ROMs out there to help you with that.
I know. On my original phone, I don't think I ever did a ROM, but it was running Froyo, and that was really old.
Yeah.
It updated to Gingerbread. It got the Gingerbread update right around the time I got it was like a month before I got my S3, which came with Jelly Bean. So it got Gingerbread right around the time I was getting Jelly Bean on my S3. So
that's about how it was for my Evo. I got Gingerbread when like ice cream sandwich was coming out or something like that.
And I remember it was crazy because I was using my phone and it was a Froyo, and I thought, this is amazing. The stuff this phone can do is amazing, and I never really got a chance to use it with any other operating system. I remember it was just Froyo, and then I got Jelly Bean. I'm like, what did I miss? It was like from Froyo to Jelly Bean, it's a huge step up. It's a huge improvement.
Oh yeah, major design too. Like it's just so much more attractive.
Yeah.
So before we turn it into a Google News, we have a little bit more Google News to talk about.
Well, I just wanted to say one more thing before we get off this, and about the Google not supporting the phones is one of the reasons that what Google said about their 4.4 is they kind of want to create an operating system to kind of unify phones so that more people like Samsung, Motorola, Sony could try to put the same operating system on all their phones, because they said that's one of their biggest issues is that phone says 2.2, this one has 3.3 or whatever, and they're all running different things, and they kind of want to try to make it easier for companies to try to put them all on the same operating system, but then Google's not doing it themselves.
Yeah.
That's because I remember reading that article, but Google's not going to do it themselves. That's what they want people to do, but they're not going to do it themselves.
That's why I'm saying they're missing a huge opportunity by not pushing this out to the older Nexuses. The Nexi. Nexuses? Nexi?
Yeah, there we go. Nexuses.
Nexuses. Nexuses.
Now we can get back to everything else.
So Google buys FlexyCore for $23.1 million. They made this app called Droid Booster, and it was supposed to like optimize things on your Android phone and like help improve battery. And they started the process of acquiring them over a year ago, and they've already fully integrated the FlexyCore staff and team into the Android team, which is pretty exciting because it was a project based around optimizing your Android phone to improve battery life, to make it run faster, make it smoother, and it got their attention. So it's like it's maybe taking Project Butter to the next level, integrating this into the Android team.
And that would be cool because that's doing exactly what they would want, is making their operating systems from here on out lighter and very light for the battery, smoother.
It's pretty exciting. It's probably going to be a while before we see any real benefit from it, maybe next year, but...
So, how excited are you for Mavericks 10.9?
You know what? They actually... I have to tip my hat to Apple. They very much surprised me with this.
Yeah.
Very unexpected. They released 10.9 for free. When does Apple release a free operating system? It's usually like $130. I remember waiting in line. Where's my box thingy here? I think I had it.
Here it is. You can stop there. If you waited in line for an Apple product, you can just stop there.
This thing right here. Waited in line for that. And I didn't just wait in line. When I say line, you assume this, this linear arrangement of people waiting, one behind the other. This wasn't a line. This was a gigantic freaking snake around the entire mall. It was serious. It was going down back alleyways of like staff areas of the mall that nobody's ever seen, coming back out, going down the hall in front of stores. And I waited in that thing for hours to get that update. And the main reason was because my wife was using her MacBook, which I actually use as a timer, but I forgot to start it. But she was using that for like her school stuff and editing and all that kind of stuff. And it was something like she got a new camera that supported a new format, but the old version of iMovie or something didn't support that new format. But it was a brand new camera, so it was like $2,000 camera. It was this thing right here, which we can't use because I don't have FireWire and nothing recognizes it. And actually, I did get it to recognize on my Mac Mini, but it takes hours to like import video. So
yeah, it's
a waste of time. Yeah, I got a new camera though, which records directly to SD. So it's awesome. So
it's free upgrade for users running Snow Leopard.
Yeah, so that was the crazy thing to me. This isn't just like, when I first thought, I was like, okay, so maybe a free upgrade for people running 10.8 to get bumped up to 10.9, but no, 10.6. This isn't, if you have a 4-year-old operating system, you can update to the latest for free.
Yeah.
Which just blew my mind.
Because Apple's they never do anything for free. That's like their thing. Like, you pay us, unreasonable amounts of money and we'll give you something mediocre.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll
the
give you
updates,
something that works, but it's nothing special. And
yeah, exactly.
Them doing this for free, especially on their operating system, which is one of the things that they value highly.
Because they think that it's unmatched by anybody. But the main features that they've added are things that Linux has been doing for a very long time, like a tabbed file manager. The Nautilus file manager has been doing that since 2008. Interactive notifications. GNOME has had that forever. I don't know forever, but for a very long time. And auto app updating. Ubuntu's had this for security updates. Your security updates will update automatically. Your other app update, other stuff will update, it'll notify you. But your security updates are a priority, so it does that automatically. But not only did they release the operating system for free, they made iWork free.
Which is sort of like their Office.
Right.
It's Pages, Keynote, Numbers, iPhoto, iMovie, GarageBand, all that's free now with the operating system. And that's big. That
is very big.
Everyone knows we're not Apple fans, but that deserves, like, Apple gets a hat tip for that.
Exactly. That's when I was reading the news and I was like, am I really reading this correctly? Apple just, like, I am happy about something that they just did.
And I love, too, it works with iCloud, and that sort of is kind of what Google Drive does, is you can work on your documents, presentations, and all that from the cloud. And now you have the iWork, and it works with iCloud. I think basically what they mean is it will save automatically. I don't think you can actually work on it from a web setting, but
there's certain things like Pages, Keynotes, Numbers, which is basically, if you want to compare this to Microsoft Office products, Pages is like Microsoft Word, Keynote is like PowerPoint, and Numbers is like Excel, so spreadsheets. Those things, I believe, work in iCloud in a browser.
All right.
But the other things don't. They'll save to your account, like iMovie and GarageBand. They'll save the project file, so you can actually pick up on your iPhone or iPad, continue editing, save it to your cloud, go back to your Mac computer, and then your changes have been synced.
But Apple did get rid of a lot of things that people liked when they released this for free, though.
Yeah, they did.
They got rid of customizable toolbar. I'm just reading off the website now. Many templates appear to be gone. Selecting non-contiguous text, the ability to do that's gone. Outline view appears gone. Duplicate pages is gone. Reorganize pages by dragging is gone. So they got rid of a lot of things. The list goes on.
At the time that I posted the link to that, it was like the day of that announcement. It was a long list. It was pages long. And that was over a week ago.
But still, they made it free, so...
Yeah. I mean, like, with their whole idea was to, like, make it so that it works the same on your phone as your desktop. But in order to do that, they had to remove certain features that would be too difficult to do on a smaller phone. But there's other ways of handling that. I mean, like Google Drive, like when I'm editing documents in Google Drive on my phone, there are certain features I don't have access to.
Yep.
That's how it should be done. I mean, you get a mobile version. You don't have to have the exact same app, the exact same interface on both. Most people are going to make minor edits and minor changes on their phone or tablet and then save the real work for their computer. So keep those tools and that functionality for when they want to do the real work on their computer, and just, the basic interface when they want to make small edits or review what they have from their mobile devices. So that made a lot of people angry.
So something else is cool, more free stuff, and this is T-Mobile is giving free data for life. 200 megabytes of data every month for life, free. And that's not that much, but that's great for emergency purposes or whatever. If you're out, you absolutely need to use your tablet.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to assume that sits on top of your plan. Like, say you have a 2 gigabyte plan, you'll pay the 2 gigabyte fee, but you have 2 gigabytes and 200 megabytes extra. I would assume that's how that would work.
I'm not sure. I think this is separate. I think this will only apply to that tablet.
All right.
So if you bought the tablet from them without a plan or anything, they're just going to give you this.
Which is great. Like, when I'm out, I would just use Hangouts. Like, if I had a Nexus 7 with LTE, say I bought it from them, if they ever offer it, I don't know if they do, but if they did, I could just Hangouts from it. That's really all I would use it for. I
mean, if I had this with a tablet with them, I would probably leave my house with a tablet more often. But when my tablet was working, I didn't go anywhere. But I'm thinking if I had this, I might take it out with me just for, basic stuff while I'm out. It's not enough to stream music or videos and stuff like that. But I mean, like Hangouts, email, stuff like that, looking up something really quickly. It's just this whole idea, this what T-Mobile has been doing a lot lately. It's just like kind of stirring everything up. They to get rid of the contracts and everything, and this is kind of like getting everybody else to be like, wow. I mean, you look at the crap people are dealing with Verizon, trying to get their LTE tablets working on Verizon.
I hate carriers, but Verizon in particular just makes me sick.
Oh yeah, you got that going on, and then T-Mobile is just like, purchase it from somewhere else and get a data plan with us, or purchase it from us and get 200 megabytes a month for free.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, the stirring things up and getting people's attention. Probably see some stuff like this from the other characters. Probably AT&T first. They're always first to respond to T-Mobile's wacky ideas.
But no, I'm sick of carriers. I like what T-Mobile is doing. I really would love to see a day come where there's no carrier-specific anything. I'd love to see a day come when the carriers duke it out and battle over their customer service, their coverage, and things like that. And it's no longer like, oh, well, we have the Droid for this price. Well, they're charging for that price, or this carrier can't even carry this. Only we have this phone. Like, I'd love to see it as any phone is available anywhere, and I think that's the way it should be. Because the way I see, when you buy a phone, you spend $600 on it, and this party over here, and you spend $600 on a phone, and then you're told, well, you can only use it with our service. Even when your 2 years is up, you can't take it somewhere else. I see that as like the same way as if you were to buy like a computer and you're like, well, you can use Fios, but that's it. You can't use Cox, you can't use Comcast, you can't use Google Fiber. Like, if that happened with somebody's computer, there'd be an uproar if that's the way things were. But
or you could buy this Toyota, but you can only refuel at Chevron.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I think of it. You can have this car, but you have to use this gas station.
And you have to listen to this radio station.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. It's if it's your device, I've always believed you should be able to do whatever you want with it. A third party should never have control over something you paid for and you own.
And then in comes the Nexus 5 with the ability to connect to any network.
Except for Verizon.
Right.
Verizon has said they won't support it. Even though it has CDMA and LTE bands, which Verizon can support, they've said they've chosen not to. And I've heard rumors that Sprint may be putting bloatware on it.
Oh, of course they're going to.
Like, you're going to be able to buy it yourself from Google Play and take it to Sprint if you want, but if you buy it from Sprint yourself, they're going to be putting a Sprint branding on it and bloatware, which Google wasn't able to negotiate them out of that.
And right now, it's pretty attractive to buy it from them. Like, I just finally got my mom upgraded to the Moto X, and she loves it. She loves the Moto X. And then that was last Tuesday. And then, what was it? Saturday morning, I woke up in the middle of the night, kind of early, rolled over, just checked my phone, because that's kind of what I do. I'm like attached to my damn phone. And I was going through a little update, and I saw an ad for the Nexus 5 on Sprint, and it said $49, $49.99.
With a 2-year contract.
And it was a pre-order, yeah, on contract, pre-order. And I just looked at it, and I was like, 49? What? We just spent like $200 on a Moto X for my mom.
Yeah.
I could have got her, and I just like went back to sleep, because I was like, I actually thought that I was dreaming. I had a crazy dream the other day, and I thought that this was one too. But and then I woke up and I went back to it and I was looking at it, and I messaged my mom, because the cool thing, not to go off subject, but the Hangouts update integrating SMS is amazing, because now my mom and sister, their text messages are in the same place as the Hangouts, which means I can hang out them and they'll see it, which makes me really excited, because now they're using Hangouts and I don't have to deal with texts and everything. But so I messaged her, and I was like, because I told her when we were going to get her Moto X about how the Nexus 5 might be coming out soon. I was like, so I don't know what we're going to do. I was like, it could come out soon. So I messaged her and told her that it just came out. It's for $49.99. And I was like, what we would have to do is to process an exchange, a return for her Moto X, go back to her old phone, go home, pre-order it, wait for it to come in, which they're supposed to be shipping by November 8th. Is what they're aiming for, to start shipping them out to people who pre-ordered them. And then once it arrives, go in and, do the switch. But she was like, no, I love this phone. I want to keep it. It's like perfect size, everything. I was like, are you sure? It's a little bit bigger screen, because, it's harder for her. Sometimes it's hard for her to see things. I was like, it's bigger screen, much faster. It's a Nexus. It's pure, She was like, no, I love it. So I decided to keep it. But I was looking into it more, and once I logged into my Sprint account, and I went through like an upgrade process, because my sister's line is due for an upgrade. It's eligible for an upgrade. So I was like going through the whole upgrade thing, and the price was different. It was $149. So then I was doing some more research, and the $49.99 is if you're coming from another carrier.
Oh, all right.
So if you're porting your number over and doing the pre-order, you can get it for $49.99.
But if you're already on Sprint, it's gonna be $149.99.
Yeah, if you're gonna do an upgrade on an existing line, but still $149.99 is still cheaper than the $200 that we spent on the Moto X. So it's like, it's still saving some money, and you're getting a Nexus.
There you go. My dream is to have a Nexus one day.
You will.
The Moto X still seems like a good phone, though. I know
it is.
I've never actually gotten any hands-on use with it, but we have one at work, a demo, and it is the best phone that my hand has ever held. It feels like it just wants to be held. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels right in my hand.
And I was watching a video review that MKBHD, and he was talking about the little dimple on the back of the phone.
Yeah, and your finger just finds it.
He was talking about how weird it is to say, but he was talking about how he wishes all phones had a dimple. And I was like, that's kind of funny. And then I start, setting up my mom's and everything, and you're holding it, and your finger just rests right in there, and you're like, it's such a simple little thing, but you're holding it like this. It's like it feels like this was just made for your hand.
Oh, there was something I wanted to say, but I've long forgot by now.
What else are we talking about?
How I became the owner of a Doctor Who fan page.
Oh, that's right.
With almost 29,000 followers, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. That's a big step up. I went from like not being an owner of any of that page to 30,000 followers almost.
I thought you were going to say not being the owner of anything. I was going to say you own that delightful pineapple back there. You are the proud owner of SpongeBob's house.
SpongeBob SquarePants. My son loves SpongeBob. Shh, don't say it. He'll come running over. He'll be like, Bob Bob. Can't say sponge, so it says Bob Bob.
Tesla Model S gets Chrome browser and possibly an Android emulator.
That would be sweet. Well, the platform it's used is already Linux based.
Yeah. They're going to update the browsers to Chrome.
What is it, an 11-inch screen they have inside that thing?
Yeah.
They have it vertical, though. They don't, I know it takes up less room for them to put it vertical in that center area than the long way, but I think it would have been better centered. Like, what is it, landscape rather than portrait?
Well, I mean, the way I see it is I'm seeing it as like, it's, if they would have had it landscape, it would have had to be shorter.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of photos, and what they seem to be doing, it's like split. Like, I'll see the GPS on top, and like right in the middle, it'll switch over, and on the bottom, I'll see like music controls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like dual windows almost. It seems like so.
I think it's actually a really nice setup in there.
It is. I would kill for a Tesla Model S. I'm not lying. I would kill. Just tell me who and when and where and drop off my car. Oh, I would love to have a Tesla. Beautiful car. Amazing too. Great for the economy.
I wonder what Nikola Tesla would say about the Tesla car.
I had that great picture. I think you plus one did. I put it on Google Plus. It was a picture of the Tesla Model S, and next to it was a picture of the first electric, or what was like a remake of the first electric car from like 1890 something.
Yeah.
And it really makes you wonder, like, these gas companies must have had a lot of pull to make people think that gas was a better way to go than electricity.
Oh, definitely.
Because they clearly had an electric car back then. They had, I think the first cars were electric. I think like the first cars were actually electric, not gas, and then they switched over, and they're like, oh, let's use gas. It's more efficient. And at the time, it was more efficient, but now, not so much.
Yeah, it was all about like putting fear into people, and I mean that's what asshole Thomas Edison did to try and get the popularity away from Tesla. Sorry, I'm checking my chat and all my channels, seeing if anybody's asking for an invite, but nobody is.
So I guess nobody's getting one. So what was the whole thing then between Tesla and Edison then? Like, what was?
There was something like he like hired Tesla to help him with like his alternating current, or the what was it? Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted, but
wasn't one like the father of alternating current and the other of direct current or something like that, and something like that. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know where I am.
Where am I? One moment, and I will answer all questions you have.
I can't believe something else is taking your attention right now.
Yeah, but he hired Tesla to like help him with something, and he promised to like pay him, and then he was asking, like when it came time to pay him, he was asking for his money. It's kind of like, pay up, bitch.
Yeah.
And then Edison was just like, oh, you don't understand how we joke, like basically saying I was joking when I said I was going to pay you. But he would use like Tesla was like on to like, his coil and, his current and whatever. But he used Tesla's technology, or I think he was using his own because his was something like that. I can put a link to all this stuff if people actually want to know. But he used something like saying that this is what Tesla's technology does, and was like using it to like electrocute animals and put fear into people. Put like dogs and cats and like publicly electrocuted them using Tesla's alternating current, saying that his alternating current was dangerous and to use my douchebag current.
So basically he was doing the same thing you can do with any electrical current.
Yeah.
He's being like, Tesla's does this, and he just purposely electrocuted an animal. We're like, don't use Tesla's, use mine. Mine is good.
Yeah. Edison was more like a businessman. He was like, I mean, people are probably going to get pissed when I say this. I see him like the old Steve Jobs. Used other people's, skill and technology, packaged it up, knew how to sell it. That was his main thing. He knew how to sell the things. That was it. He was a salesperson.
And that's basically what Steve Jobs was.
Yeah. I mean, he did like push ideas. Talking about Steve Jobs now, not Edison. But Steve Jobs, he did like push ideas and like kind of like push the innovation. But, for the most part, he was a douche. Doing things that other people were already doing. He was just packaging it up all nice and knew how to sell it. But enough about that. Google TV may become Android TV.
Is that so?
I think so.
I'm going to pull up that article.
I would, but my computer is being an Edison. Edison is my new word for douchebag.
Alrighty then. Ooh, a Kit Kat bench.
KitKat bench. I want to eat that bench.
LG has received word of the rebranding and have received guidelines for Android TV. There was also mention of how unnamed industries insiders claims the Next OS has greatly improved its blah blah blah. Well, yeah, they might rebrand it as Android TV. I'm so confused now because it's like this is Android, this is Chrome, this is Android with the Chrome branding.
It's a big mess.
Like Chromecast. Chromecast is more Android than Chrome, but they called it Chromecast. And then what? So now they're gonna make the Google TV more. They're just gonna call it Android TV because it runs Android. I don't know why they don't just call it Nexus TV. Make all their products Nexus.
That's what I want. I want a Nexus TV.
I would love a Nexus TV. And when I say Nexus TV, I don't just mean like a little box, like the Apple TV is a little box, something you plug into that TV. I mean, I want like you buy smart TVs. I want to buy a Nexus TV. Like all that stuff's part of it.
I don't know if I would want to do that.
Oh, I would.
I don't want to have to replace the entire thing if something happens. I would like a little box.
True, a little box. Actually, now that I think about it, a little box would be good. I'm just thinking because then you also, as technology gets older, your TV would become outdated. With a little
you have
box,
to replace the whole thing.
Yeah, you could have this. You could have the same TV and just plug in the new box. So I guess you're right.
Plus, if it's a tiny little box that you just buy and plug into your existing TV, that's going to put it in more. That's going to put it in more houses. If people are like, oh, I need like thousands of dollars to get a Nexus TV, but I don't know how good it is.
Definitely, I would love if they called it Nexus. I would love if everything was just Nexus now. Just because that's their brand name for phones and tablets, why not extend that brand name to all Google products? Like the Nexus is the Google brand.
I want a Nexus computer.
That would be badass. I feel like if Google made an actual computer, it would probably be a Linux-based operating system and be good. Sort of like their Ubuntu. I'd love to work with Ubuntu just to see what it is they have on their computers at their stations. That'd be cool.
Or just get a Chromebook.
Yeah, but that's not like a full computer. I want like I would love a Chromebook for portability. Like I if I had a Chromebook, I'd definitely use it when I'm lounging on the couch. I would definitely use it if I was going somewhere where I knew I would have Wi-Fi and I'd have time to go on or something. Even then, though, like I love the Chromebook idea. It's great, but I think a tablet's actually more functional sometimes than the Chromebook.
Yeah.
Because literally, it's just a web browser. If you can't do it on the web browser, you can't do it. And I know there's support coming for packaged apps, which is kind of very similar to native apps, where it's going to run basically in the browser, but you're not going to know it's a browser because it's going to take away everything that is browser-like, and it'll be HTML5 apps, but I don't know.
I kind of think that the Chromebook and just everything being in the cloud and on the web, I think it's an idea ahead of its time, and more they're kind of pushing for more people to make web-based things. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be before we see a cloud web-based Photoshop, but I think that's definitely, pushing for, HTML5 is very powerful, make web apps.
And it definitely is true. That's what they're pushing people to do is make web apps now for the Chromebook using HTML5, and definitely ahead of its time. But for the time being, I actually see getting a 10-inch tablet as more functional than a Chromebook.
Yeah.
Like the Chromebook is great. I would personally get one if I could. Not before I'd get a tablet first, but if I could get one, I'd get one. But in the long run, at this moment in time, I don't think it's 100% worth it. Unless that's all you're going to do. Like if you want a computer for your house and you're the type of person that you're just going to go on Facebook or you're just going to check your emails, edit a few pictures using like Picasso or something, by all means, get it. It's great for that type of person. When I'm at Best Buy, that's the type of person I sell to. We get older people that come in, they're like, I just want to check my emails. I want to be able to send pictures to like my kids, receive pictures to my kids. It's like, well, this thing right here is $250.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, until there's more cloud-based stuff, it really is ahead of its time, and I don't see a point for it yet.
Especially with tablet, you can get there's so many apps. I mean, and there's the Photoshop app, which it's difficult to use in a tablet interface. I was using it. I paid $10 for the app, and I hardly used it as much. Once I discovered Snapseed, I was using Snapseed to touch up photos because I realized that I really didn't need on my tablet the ability to create layers and stuff. It wasn't as powerful as Photoshop on the desktop, but it didn't seem. The more I thought about it, the more I realized it really wasn't worth $10. And all the Photoshop's like touch apps are $10 each. At least they were when I had a tablet and was in that cool crowd. But I'm surprised it wasn't a touch package, and you had to buy them all just to use one.
Oh well, we can talk about Adobe another day.
Yeah.
They're another one of those things where like I love their products, but like I just hate the way they do things.
It's like there's no real major competitor to them. GIMP is the closest thing, and they are not a Photoshop replacement. So because there isn't no real major competition, it's like they can charge whatever the hell they want, and people are going to suck it up.
People all around the world are going to have to, because there really is no alternative.
And it's such a standard in so many companies.
It is. It's like, what are you going to use? If you want to be someone who edits photos and you have a business or whatever, you do design, you have to buy Adobe. There's really no other practical option. GIMP isn't there. What's that other one I was using for a little while? It was an open source one. It was kind of like the equivalent, or it tried to be, like a lower version of Illustrator from Adobe.
Inkscape?
Yeah, Inkscape. Yeah, Inkscape just isn't there at all.
No.
So really, you have to go with Adobe, and if they choose, they want to charge you $700 for fucking Photoshop, then either you pay it or you don't have it, or you do something else to get it. Just saying.
I don't know what this other method of getting Photoshop is that you're referring to.
Nope, neither do I. I was actually just saying things. Let's do our show on the moon next week.
On the moon, yeah. The lag, there's probably going to be a lot of lag. Because as of right now, NASA's only got a 622 megabit per second data connection between here and the moon using lasers. Lasers or just light? I can't remember.
So they're using lasers to transfer data? That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, so it's data moving at the speed of light, but, that far away, it takes, about second and a half or so for the light to get there, another, same to get back. So overall, the latency is, it's going to be like a huge amount of latency in terms of latency, like 2.5 to 3 seconds.
Quantum computing is the answer.
Oh, definitely. That's exactly what I was going to talk about too. Like quantum computing, the whole idea is that the components of the computers are actually quantum entangled. So it doesn't matter distance. Theoretically, it doesn't matter the distance. As soon as you change the state on one, the other changes.
Well, I was reading an article on that, and I quoted in the article. It said when you change something on one, it still is going to be bound by the laws of the speed of light for the state to change on the other.
Yeah, I was reading something about that too, and I didn't.
It wasn't instantaneous, but I did hear that when you do change one, the other will change, but distance does play a role. It's bound by the speed of light, but still. Especially within a computer itself, like the idea of quantum computing, if you're just running like a network, close by, your own personal network, like that's going to be an amazing speed boost.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be like, something happens, it's boom, it happened. And I can't wait for the day when, I'm 35 years old, but I can buy a quantum computer for my house. if we ever get there. I'm going to guess 35. I'm going to guess I'll be 35. That's a little more than 10 years.
That's being very optimistic there.
And when we get our, what is it? What should we call it? Teklian Dynamics. We'll start a company, Teklian Dynamics.
Yeah.
I was gonna say industries, but Dynamics works better for sci-fi purposes, and we'll bring it to the people.
Yeah, there's Global Dynamics. There's what was the other one in French? Massive Dynamics.
Everything's dynamics in sci-fi shows.
Teklian Dynamics. It's gonna be a thing. Watch out.
Sad tech industries. I got to the end of Continuum. I'm like, what? If Sci-Fi cancels the show after season 3 without giving it a proper ending, I am personally going to go to their headquarters and just
poop on their lawn.
I'm going to send them back in time and let them deal with it. Poop on their lawn. Oh, I'm going to be so pissed if it doesn't get a good ending, because now it's like the way season 2 ended, I have to know what's going to happen. I don't want to wait till it comes back on the air. Because
you're like, where did he go? What's he doing?
Where's Alex? Where's all the other people from the future? What are they all doing now where they are? I don't want to say it, but
yeah.
Ugh, what happened to his hot girlfriend?
Please bring her back.
Yeah, please. And what about Master Braytak? Is he okay? What's going on with him?
I have no idea what his name is in the show, but because I only see him as Master Braytak.
Kagami.
Is that it? Origami?
Origami, yeah. but when he died,
Master Origami.
He told that girl or whatever that she would see that this is the last time she would see him. So it's well, they're not in the future anymore. He's died in the past. How is she going to see him again? They'll meet again, he said. It's like, what? What's going on?
And then that one guy you thought he was the kid's dad turns out to be his son.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry.
Yeah, oops. But then there's that other guy, the one of the terrorists or whatever, that like died in like the first season or something like that, I think, the Asian guy. And then all of a sudden, the very last episode of season 2, he's there. He's working for a completely different team, completely different motive. And it's like, what is going on? It's like, what are you doing back? You're dead. What do you mean you're alive now and you're locking up time travelers?
Zombie!
My brain was like, that whole last episode, my brain was just over and over again exploding. I just couldn't. I couldn't take it. I should have waited till season 3 had started to watch that episode.
That's what sucks about watching live. You gotta wait.
Do you know what we didn't do this week? I don't think we made any Doctor Who references. Which, well, I did mention I became the owner of that page. I guess that's Doctor Who in this episode.
Yeah, there's a reference.
We do have the final coming up, the finale, or not the finale, the 50th anniversary. I don't know why I said finale.
It's so close.
I want McGann to be in it. I know he's probably not going to be, but I'm going to secretly hold out some hope that McGann will be in the 50th anniversary.
I hope so. That would be amazing.
Oh, like somebody else. I don't want to... Did you see the pictures of Tennant's hair?
The ponytail?
No. In the, for the, all the, like, the poster for the 50th, all the leaked images from the 50th, like when he's in the TARDIS or whatever, his hair's just not all spiky like it usually is. It's just laying down flat. It looks wrong. Like, I'm looking at it, it's like, when I look at the picture, it's like something's wrong with this picture.
Well, I think, that's how it was at first, and like earlier in that regeneration, he didn't really know what to do with his hair. So because he's coming back with Rose, that's kind of how his hair was during Rose, and then after Rose, his hair was more spiky.
Oh, so he didn't really have the spiky hair with Rose,
right?
All right.
If I go back and watch like little older episodes, he always looks so different because like if it's that era at that time with Rose, his hair is all like kind of droopy and sloppy. He didn't really. I think there was an episode, what was it? It was like that little girl that would draw things and then stuff would happen. And there was a little cat walking around outside and she was like, aren't you cute or something like that? And the doctor was like acting like, she was talking to him. And he's like, oh, thank you. I'm experimenting with back combing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he was still trying to figure out what to do with his new hair, especially coming from the 9th Doctor. He didn't have to worry about his hair because, style wasn't a priority with him.
No, he wore a cracking leather coat.
Jeans.
I remember I was reading an article a little while ago with McGann, and he was saying when he was pitched for that movie, the Doctor Who movie he was in, and they were trying to figure out his costume, he said he wanted to wear a leather coat and have his hair just like crew cut almost, and they wouldn't let him. He goes, they told me that's not Doctor Who, that's not the way it should be, and he had to pick something else. And then he said he remembers seeing the 9th Doctor come out, and it is exactly what he wanted. He was so upset. He's like, I couldn't help but hold a little bit of a grudge over the fact that is exactly what I described how I wanted to look for my Doctor. But in the end, I'm glad they let him do that because the 8th Doctor is my favorite, Doctor outfit. That's the best.
Well, definitely.
Best dressed Doctor is the 8th Doctor, by far. Although I'm interested to see what Capaldi has. Me too. That's really looking forward to that. I really want to see what kind of style he's going to pull off. Did you do a hat tip this week?
I didn't think of one, but I will make one up.
I'm going to make one up too, but I'll let you make one up first because I still haven't made one up.
Oh, well, damn it.
You haven't made one up yet either. I will do my hat tip to the fan page, Fans of Everything Doctor Who.
There you go.
Yeah. Which I am now the owner, and you are actually a manager. So we will have content on there as well as our Teklian page and our personal pages. And
I will tip my hat to Aviate. It is a very nice, fancy new home screen, Android launcher. So, and I have 5 invites to give out. So we're ending the show now. So no more chances during this show. So join us next week, and I'm just gonna give them out on air. I think we still have 6. Actually, I think I have 2 I didn't put in our drive folder yet. So I think we have 6 KitKat invites. But I'm going to say 4. I think we have 4. So I think I'm going to give one more to myself and one more to you. How about this? Every week that nobody is in the live chat and claims one, we use one. There you go. So we're done for this week. Join the live chat next week and get KitKat invites. Also next week, we're going to talk about Google News. lots of new developments in Google, and we talked about a lot of stuff in here, but this stuff was in here before all of this stuff happened, so.
And possibly by then we'll have more on 4.4, because I really want to get into 4.4. I want to talk about some of the changes. We all know about the Nexus. We saw the Nexus's leaking almost every detail about it 2 months ago. So there's not really much to talk about that beyond saying it's out, but I would love to talk about some reviews people have had with it by then maybe, and particularly 4.4.
Some people have already been getting their Nexus 5s and posting shots of it and everything.
Lucky bastards.
I know.
One day.
There are there's a lot of information about what's new in 4.4.
Yeah.
Some of that is going to be Nexus 5 specific because, like the launcher, I downloaded the new gallery camera, the launcher, and I was using them on here. And the launcher's kind of a battery drain because it has always listening on your launcher, not from just off. You have to turn it on, and then when you go to your home screen, you could say, "Okay, Google," and it would start listening. But that was quite a battery drain because it was designed for. I mean, the processor that the Nexus 5 has can handle that. It has it's got that ability, but it's not going to be able to do it from the idle, from being off. So stuff like that, and I'm not sure how they're going to do that in 4.4 updates for these older devices like the Nexus 4 when we get it. It's probably not going to have that feature.
We'll see. We'll see, definitely.
Maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Until then, we're out. One last hat tip. That is a pineapple. Somewhere over there. Like I said, it's a square now. I can't see my whole thing, so I don't know what I'm pointing at. Wait, that is a pineapple. I'm touching it.
Poke.
Not really, but it looks like it might be. Alright, I'm done.
I'm done. Bye.